Okay, let's kick off this explainer with a question that honestly completely shatters the ultimate hustle culture myth. We're constantly told to just shoot for the moon, right? To set these absolutely audacious, life-altering targets. But why do almost all of our most ambitious goals completely backfire? For the vast majority of us, staring up at some impossible mountain doesn't actually push us to greatness. It really just sets us up for a massive, crushing fall.
So, welcome to today's explainer, where we're going to use cold, hard statistical data to prove exactly why realistic, written, and visualized goals are the absolute keys to sustained success. We're stripping away all that generic motivational fluff and looking straight at the science of achievement. If you want to actually hit your targets without completely burning out your engine in the process, you are definitely in the right place.
Here's our game plan for today. First, we'll unpack the massive goal trap. Second, we'll dive into write and visualize. And third, we'll break down the science of execution.
All right, let's jump right into part one, the massive goal trap.
Now, conventional wisdom tells us to aim ridiculously high, but the data totally flips that on its head. According to a pretty startling 2021 study by researchers Hopfner and Keith, a staggering 90% of overly ambitious, massive goals end in complete failure. Only 10% actually achieve what they set out to do. The sheer weight of an impossible target doesn't usually inspire us. It literally just crushes us under the pressure of our own unrealistic expectations.
And here's the really scary part. The danger isn't just missing the target. It's what missing that target does to your brain. Failing massive goals severely damages your future motivation. In that exact same study, participants reported a 0.67-point drop in positive emotions, feelings like being relaxed or happy, and a 0.21-point drop in overall motivation. It leaves you feeling burnt out, cynical, and way less likely to even try hard next time. In fact, almost 89% of the people who failed ended up choosing significantly easier tasks the next time around. That's what a real massive goal hangover looks like.
So what does this all mean? It means we absolutely must shift our paradigm. We have to move away from overly ambitious pipe dreams, which, as we now know, are high-failure motivation killers, and aim for a sweet spot. We need goals that stretch our capabilities but remain firmly grounded in reality. Decades of research, including a foundational 1981 study by Locke and Latham, show us that setting challenging yet attainable goals can lead to up to 90% better employee performance. It's all about finding that perfect tension, hard enough to make you focus, but realistic enough that you can actually achieve it.
Moving right along to section 2, write and visualize.
So why is it so absolutely crucial to physically write things down? Well, Dr. Gail Matthews over at Dominican University ran a famous study that proved the simple, physical act of writing down your goals makes you a whopping 42% more likely to actually achieve them. Just grabbing a pen and paper drastically alters your statistical probability of success. It's a total game changer. You might be wondering, why does that happen? Because writing acts as a cognitive filter. When a goal is just floating around in your head, it's a vague wish. It's blurry. But putting it into actual words on a page transforms that vague wish into a structured, undeniable target. It creates a psychological contract. Your brain is essentially forced to lock onto the specifics, the what, the when, and the how, and that prevents you from getting distracted by all the little things that just don't matter. But wait, we can actually take this a step further. Data from TD Bank reveals that people who visualize their goals, like mapping out their future on a vision board, are 59% more confident in their abilities to achieve those targets compared to folks who don't. Visualizing the outcome literally reprograms your self-belief. And this newfound confidence translates directly into the workplace, too. Leadership IQ data shows that employees who use visuals to describe their goals aren't just more confident, they are actually 52% more likely to love their jobs compared to people who only use words or numbers. When you can clearly envision what you're working toward, the daily grind suddenly has a vivid, exciting purpose. The motivation isn't just some abstract concept anymore. It's a clear picture you are actively painting every single day. Okay, let's dive into our final section. The science of execution. Before we look at any execution frameworks, we have to keep the performance paradox in mind. This is a brilliant concept from productivity expert Justin Sung. The paradox is basically this. Being dangerously productive isn't about trying to do absolutely everything at once. In fact, if you want to achieve greater results, you often need to do less. It's about not driving your car until the engine literally catches fire on a short-term sprint. Instead, it's about identifying the 20% of actions, those key levers, that actually drive 80% of your progress towards your long-term outcome.
To execute effectively on those key levers without burning yourself out, we can use the RPM framework, detailed by the time management experts at Toggle. RPM acts as a three-step filter. First, define the result. What is the exact specific outcome you want? Second, anchor it with purpose. Why does this actually matter to you? What's the emotional reason behind it? Because without a strong why, your urgency just fades and procrastination absolutely wins out. And third, you map out your massive action plan, or MAP, the actual tangible steps required to get there.
As the saying goes, the MAP replaces your to-do list with an outcome-focused action plan. This perfectly captures that a true execution strategy isn't just some scattered, overwhelming to-do list of 20 random tasks where you're basically checking off admin work just to feel busy. It is a heavily prioritized roadmap. Every single step on that map leads directly back to the realistic, written, and visualized goal you set at the very beginning.
I want to leave you with this provocative thought to chew on today. Take a hard, honest look at your targets right now. Ask yourself, are they challenging yet realistic? Are they written down? Are they clearly visualized? Or are you falling straight into the massive goal trap and setting yourself up for a devastating motivational crash? The science is incredibly clear on what actually works, but the choice of how you map your path, well, that is entirely up to you.